All right, attention, 59 gamers. We are back with another installment of your favorite Dokkan Battle podcast called the Dokkan Battle Podcast. I am your host, Toon Rami, and joining me this week are some of the greatest Dokkanners we've ever seen, starting with the international family guy himself, Talon.
Ohayou gozaimasu, minasan. What's going on?
Part-time stand user and full-time Super Battle Road King, the Masked Ningen.
Yo, how's it going, everybody?
The homie who needs no introduction, Goresh.
What's going on, guys? Ready to rock and roll.
Stellt euch dem schnellsten und mächtigen Speedrunner, Sunblade.
Good morning, everybody.
If it exists, then he's already rainbowed it. The LR King of Dokkan himself, the Truth.
What's up?
Yes.
When are we going to change that to the Chord King?
Well, I feel like you might be stepping on his toes with that.
No, I fixed that.
You fixed it? All right. Make sure you guys are locked in across all our social media platforms and connect with the 59G network. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, join our Discord, join our new Facebook page. All the links are provided in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel because now memberships are officially live. So if you'd like to become a supporter of the channel and what we're trying to accomplish here, become a member today and gain access to our exclusive emotes and badges and some pretty cool perks as well. And also later on tonight, following this show, some of the 59 Gaming crew will be heading over to Twitch for another round of Phasmophobia. So make sure you guys tune in for that as well. Without further ado, let's dive into episode 5, Unforeseen Halloween. Our first topic for this week is the global campaign and banner. A lot of people have had some thoughts about this banner and what should have been or what isn't there. So I guess I'll just start with Truth. What was your initial reaction when you saw what was happening in this campaign and more specifically the banner and the units that were featured on it?
My reaction is, oh good, now we get to have the global players complaining every second of every day because Akatsuki cannot get the schedule straight for the life of them. But the banner's actually super good. So, I mean, that's the thing. It's really good. So, like, I would actually tell people to summon at least the first discount because the first multi is 40 stones. Anytime they do stuff like that on global, like if you're playing global, so like you're months behind on a lot of stuff, you know, schedule's out of whack, things are everywhere, all over the place. You have got to take advantage of all these discounts. The step-ups that were on Beerus, on Kefla, this 40-stone multi. Otherwise, why are you on global? Like, that's the big advantage you've got, so you got to take advantage of that stuff.
Exactly. It's not exactly the worst thing in the world to not have a brand new shiny unit every single banner. I was one of the few people that voiced my opinion on this in the positive way. I was actually happy with this campaign. I didn't mind it too much, simply because of the fact that there's plenty of other stuff to do. And these are solid units featured on the banner. And like you said, newer players and those who really haven't caught up yet, this is a great opportunity to do that. So, guys, chime in. Like, it's not as bad as people say, right?
Yeah, I mean, I made a video saying that I think it's good. So I think the main problem is when the biggest problem was the Dokkan Fest Halloween ticket thing got leaked. And so then everyone started getting their hopes up about what the possible Dokkan Fest could be. And people had got themselves worked up either wanting it to be Frieza already or a global exclusive. And so then when it wasn't that, which we never really should have expected it to be, because it's not like we had a crazy celebration for Halloween last year. But people got themselves hyped up for something and then got mad when we didn't get it, basically.
Well, the main thing about that was there was no teaser at the time. Like, you know, the only time they've ever, like, shadow dropped a Dokkan Fest that quickly was UI Goku, but that's because he was just revealed in the anime.
Yeah.
So, that was the only thing about that.
Goresh, nothing on the non-existence of that Tournament of Power Frieza? Nothing? You salty?
Well, I mean, last year we did get a new unit for Halloween, right? We got the full power Frieza LR. And that was the same time slot as this banner right here. And it's the same time that this banner's up, that banner was up last year. So, I mean, yeah, I don't really think I don't think it was outlandish for them to release a new unit in this time slot. The one thing I'll say is this banner is pretty good. I think I would agree to do the first step and then stop summoning, because although this banner does have a better lineup than the upcoming Gotenks and Boo banners, the Gotenks and Boo banners have discounts tickets and it's 3+1.
Yeah.
it's just instantly better. So,
Did Trunks and Zamasu last year have tickets?
yes.
Yes.
The upcoming banners, because
So that instantly makes those banners better to some of them.
and quite possibly one extremely shocking announcement in this campaign that I know Mass Ningen is most particularly excited about.
I know what this is.
Super 17 is getting his EZA. Who expected this? Where did this come from? Why is he the first of the 120 leads getting an EZA? What does this mean for the future of global EZAs? Because we're just all over the place at this point.
Because he's the best one.
Currently, right now, he is. Yes.
Because
what
Global
happens to
deserves
Broly?
only the best.
The reason they did Super 17 now is because sometimes they get a little obsessive with tying these certain EZAs to like the same celebrations. This happened with Tech Gold and Frieza last year, right? And even though it's a bit later than Ultimate Gohan, Super 17 came out with Ultimate Gohan on JP, right? So I assume that is the reason.
I'm so disappointed we're not getting Broly. Really wanted to use the best EZA in the game.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean,
So good.
where do you even place Broly at this point? Because he is obviously the most inferior. So any point after this would simply be a downgrade, right?
Probably gonna shove him into the Boom Go Tank celebration, to be honest.
Oh.
So
Yeah, it's very disappointing. He was the worst of the 120 leads in general, and then got super disappointing EZA. So I mean, it's not completely out of the realm of possibility, but could you imagine if they're not dropping him first because they're going to tweak him and make him better for global?
Oh God, I could see that happening.
Doing a Goku Black all over again.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be pretty cool. Goku Black 2.0. That'd be pretty neat.
I mean, I would like to, want to use him, but yeah, he's just, even with his EZA, super underwhelming. So I'm obviously very happy to have a much better one instead. So
yeah, this EZA will be dropping next week for us on Global. And Dragon Ball Seekers, I believe, is the category needed, right, to tackle this EZA. So if you guys are ready for that Super 17, make sure you guys, get that stuff done as soon as possible and enjoy the first of the 120 leads over on Global.
Don't worry, guys. The event is super easy as well. It can be done free to play, no problem. You can get your 30 stones, awaken your Super 17, all that stuff. So,
Good. All right, let's move on to something more specific in the Halloween campaign. This is for both Global and JP. The Halloween units. So we'll start with the newest Halloween special unit to arrive, and that is Grandpa Gohan and Pan. And I like to call this unit Grand Pan. And yeah, it's the newest one. It's okay, I guess. Do you guys have any thoughts on this unit overall?
Yeah, so I think so first of all, the concept of the unit, I love when they do these like what if scenarios. Like I think because we had the Tanks and Ghosts like scenario, we had the Raditz scenario, like the story events, I guess. That like the Raditz story event never actually happened in the show. It was just like a what if thing where it's like, oh, Raditz's interactions with like Vegeta and Nappa and stuff before they came to Earth. Then they had the Go Tanks and Ghosts one, which was just like some like Halloween themed event. I think that was 2 years ago, right? I think at this point when they introduced that unit, and that was like that never happened in the show. It was just a what if thing. And then they have this one. I really like when they do these like thematically. They're cool, but talk about the design of this unit. I really don't like it because it's a free to play unit and they want to make this unit like a hard hitting unit, which doesn't work. They gotta turn it into some kind of support unit. Kamehameha really needs more support units, so if they wanted to go down the path of making this unit like a decently good free-to-play unit, one thing they could have done is they could have like cut out half of their passive and then just made it like Kamehameha category key +2, attack and defense +20%, and that would have been good enough to where this actually becomes a viable option to run on the team. Right now, I would never run this unit in anything, any event, any team. There's nowhere I'd run this unit ever.
Yeah, I mean, other than being a collectible, there's really no other incentive to farm at this unit. However, we are starting to notice a trend with these Halloween units and the things that follow, like maybe the preceding year, because now we're also getting the EZAs for Candy Vegito and Ghost Tanks. So those two units used to be, the main Halloween units from previous campaigns, but now that they're getting those upgrades, maybe Grand Pan will be the next one, or potentially the one after, to get the similar treatment. So do you guys think, Sunblade, we'll start with you. Do you guys think that it is a good plan moving forward for Halloween units to get their moment in the sun first, and then the following year or the year after that, they get an upgrade just to stay relevant? Because these units are pretty unique, as we mentioned, and they're fairly interesting.
I would say that Akatsuki doesn't have to wait a year to like pretty much release an EZA for them, because for other units like during the anniversary, those units get an EZA like 1 or 2 weeks after that, and I would welcome that for those Halloween units as well. But I like the idea that those units are getting EZAs because I love EZAs. Those units are getting better, so I have more incentives to run the unit. Ghost tanks and the Candy Vegito are pretty much wildcards for a couple of teams, and all have gotten better. So it's pretty good.
Out of these two EZAs, as we're looking at the Ghost tanks right now, he becomes a fusion sub lead, or a free to play lead, actually, 77%. He's just become so much more powerful. The Candy Vegito as well has become even more monstrous and even more reliable. Out of those two, what do you guys think in terms of overall quality? Which unit is the better unit with their EZAs?
I would say Gotenks is, just because he fulfills roles on teams that need it more than this Vegito does. Like the fusion team actually really doesn't have that many good options. You take a look at the fusion category, it's really not that expansive. And in addition to that, he does he stuns, he heals. Like this Candy Vegito was really good for like the Batara team, for the Final Trump Card team, stuff like that. But those teams don't need help as badly as the fusion team does. So I feel like you could make an argument that this Candy Vegito is better, just raw, looking at his raw passive and stuff like that, doing like a one-to-one comparison between this guy and the Gotenk. But when you consider which teams need the buff more, I think Gotenks has a bigger impact on the game than this Vegito does.
I agree.
I 100% agree.
Yeah, same.
Super Battle Road experts, Truth and Ningen, what do you guys think? Which unit has the better SBR potential?
Well, Gotenks is 100,000 million times more important, because the Patara extreme category stage goes down easy as hell. You got Kabito Kai, you got the SCR Vegito, you destroy it, no problem. But that fusion stage is a monster. So Gotenks is going to be really helpful in there. So
yeah, he was always a unit that he was useful in Super Battle Roads, obviously on the previous version of the fusion category stage. Units that can stun, heal, all of that, like useful utility in Super Battle Road, but he would get hit for like 60, 70, 80k sometimes. And actually my video for today is using him on the fusion category stage, and I think even before supering he only took like 20k, and then obviously he greatly raises his defense on super, so he keeps all of that utility that made you want to use him on the team, and now he actually has really solid defense. So yeah, I think as Goresh and Truth were both saying, he helps out the team more, I think, because due to the lack of options.
Patara is just way better than Fusion. It's not
Yeah,
even close.
exactly.
With this new passive for the Candy Vegito, do you think I haven't tried it yet myself, I don't know if you guys have tried it, but how well does he measure up against the UI Goku, the int version at the end of the LGE? Have you guys tried that?
I haven't, but I assume he gets destroyed.
Well, I mean, now he gains double the stats when he picks up tech orbs, right? So before, I think Jay Fanta had said like a couple of times, if you picked up like 8 or 9 orbs, given that you stacked every single turn that the Candy Vegito was available, you would be able to survive a hit with the Candy Vegito against UI or something like that. So now I would think with double the stacking power or double the nuking power, you might be able to stand a better chance. I figured, one of you guys might have potentially tried that yet.
Well, keep in mind, the one thing I don't like about this Vegito is that he wants tech orbs. And that means that if you don't get tech orbs, he's only getting 10% defense.
Yeah.
Which, this is like Dokkan 2017, where you need specific types of orbs to get the buffs. Like, I don't like that at all.
Like a fair trade-off, though, given that he can dodge 70% of the time all the time, right?
Yeah, but again, that stage cancels dodging, right?
Yeah, yeah, you're right about that. I mean, that is the one outlier. But yeah, I see what you mean. And one more thing about this. We've obviously mentioned it. Goresh was talking about how these are very exclusive what-if units. I'm a huge proponent of this. I actually very much like that they take the time to create Dokkan-exclusive units like this. What do you guys think moving forward when it comes to Halloween units, or just in general for Dokkan? would it help the game, or would it be something that you guys would like to see where we have more Dokkan exclusive units? And if so, were there any in mind that you guys would maybe want to see? You know, particular units that paired up that you'd never think would pair up? Anything?
I mean, Frieza and Cooler.
Yeah.
That would be. I'd definitely go with that one.
I mean, that actually would be really cool. Yeah.
Mm.
Golden Frieza and Golden Cooler. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What about a Frieza and Cooler and they both transform into golden?
Oh, there we go. Now we're talking.
Or what if they
LR?
fuse into Cool EZA or whatever?
No,
What if they don't?
okay, you just ruined it with that one. You ruined it
Okay,
with that
yeah.
one.
Well, we're talking about how great fusion is. Yeah, we couldn't, use an extra unit like that.
They wouldn't be on Fusion if Super 17 isn't.
Well, yeah, they would, because Cool EZA's on fusion.
Yeah, but who realistically uses them on Fusion?
No, but okay. If they dropped a summonable LR right now of Frieza and Cooler fusing, I imagine they'd be pretty good. Probably good enough to run on the team.
You guys don't have any? Anyone else have any ideas for possible pair ups?
Super 17 and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta on the fusion team. There you go.
Super
Another good one.
17. Oh.
Laugh all you want, but they would work great. That new Gogeta with EZA Super 17, that would be a dominant rotation. I promise.
What about Piccolo and Demon King Piccolo?
Oh, there we go.
Or
What
they
about
could pull a Heroes and do Young Kami and Demon King Piccolo.
What about GT Vegeta meeting Nappa, resurrected Nappa? It doesn't even do any. Yeah, it doesn't even do anything. It just kills its own unit because it just kills Nappa.
Turn 1 transformation where he just kills
All right, so let's move on. The Halloween campaign was great and all for global, but over on JP, something probably a little bit more amazing has been going on. We don't have all the information quite yet, but we do know that Prime Battle Frieza is confirmed to be getting the EZA treatment. And like I said, we don't have the information on the unit per se yet, but we do know some of the things that are going to be involved in this whole campaign. And primarily, what we're going to be talking about here is the fact that you once again have to have a certain number of units, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, fully maxed out, fully rainbowed and everything before jumping into that easy area. Is that correct?
People have been telling me that you don't need them max SA.
You don't. It's confirmed in the news that you don't.
You don't need to. Okay.
Yeah.
But so the SA is not required, but is everything else still required? Rainbow status?
Everything is required. Rainbow and Easy Aid.
So we can just dive right in. Talon, do you think the SA not being a thing is because of the Prime Battle Goku and his prerequisites for his own EZA campaign?
That would be my assumption, because technically if you want to do it completely free to play, and because his was an easy area and not an easy A, and they don't give you the Grand Kais or anything like that, obviously I think most people either had one farmed up the moment we found out he was going to get an easy A, or maybe even before that, or you just said, forget it, I'm just going to use, an extra Grand Kai have, or a Supreme Kai or something like that. Or not Supreme Kai, but an Elder Kai. If you want to do that free to play, it takes a little bit of time, even with the category and all this, all the extra stuff that's been added on top of it now. So it would be my guess that that's the case. But I mean, in the end, all the extra SA does realistically is it just boosts the power / maybe adds an effect to it. Which again, it's not bad or anything. That's just realistically that's what it is. So my guess is that they're just like, hey, as long as you have them rainbowed, level 140, easy aid, then that's all that really matters. So,
Truth, go ahead.
Well, people were saying that the Goku EZA area, you didn't have to have SA max, so it's just a carryover from that one.
Okay, so SA max was never a thing.
Yeah, it's just you just have to have it rainbowed and fully EZA. That's all.
Okay. Well, speaking of SA max or not, you still this stuff is very time intensive. You have to put in the work. And if you're a non free to play player, in the sense that you really just play the game to summon, to beat all the end game events with your top tier rainbowed units, and you really just don't care about the minutiae of the free to play side, how do you interpret this type of an event or this type of an undertaking? Is this something that you would be for? Would you be against it? Do you guys think this is a good idea moving forward, having EZAs or just events like this where you have a long list of prerequisites. Do you guys think this is good for the game?
Yes, because it gives you something to do that doesn't take you 5 seconds to finish. Like it's a long grind, but I think it's worth it. Like take a look at how good the Prime Battle Goku is. Sure, we already have a summonable LR for Super Saiyan Goku, but if you didn't pull him, you know, this guy's like he's very, very good. So I think the rewards are very good, and I assume this Frieza is going to be very good as well. And the thing about this Frieza is there isn't really a direct competitor for first form Frieza other than the transforming one, who's pretty old at this point. And let's be real, this guy's going to be like a million times better than him. So yeah, I mean the rewards are definitely good enough. So it just, you know, it comes down to if you're willing to put in the time or not. And I think if you put in a lot of time, you should be rewarded for something really good like this. So I like it.
I mean, Frieza has better links. Like he has way less competition for just all the spots he's going to be on, right? So yeah, there's them doing this is fine too, because they make it, the event itself is not hard, but it's a pain to get everything ready. So then they don't mind balancing it by making the units insane. They can make it easy so everyone could do it in 5 seconds, but then the unit would suck ass and who cares? So like the way they're doing it is fine, I think.
I actually have a question. So you guys noticed that right now there are 6 Prime Battle LRs in the game. There's Krillin, Cell, Vegeta, Goku, Frieza, and Trunks. So my question is, once you get all, I'm assuming they're going to eventually do this EZA campaign for all 6. What if they do like some super mega busted LR where you need all 6 EZAs for the Prime Battles to take that guy down, and then you get that LR?
That'd be awesome.
Wouldn't surprise me whatsoever.
Going to happen. Yeah.
Speaking of some of these prerequisite units, I wanted to also take some time to give a moment to the Krillin and the Bardock, 2 new units that have emerged from this whole thing. I like how they give us this whole announcement that the EZA Prime Battle Frieza is happening. Oh, and by the way, Krillin is randomly also getting upgraded, as is Bardock. So these 2 units are now getting their own awakenings and their own EZAs before the EZA for the Prime Battle Frieza. It's very odd.
Yeah,
so what's that?
They come out tomorrow.
They come out tomorrow. Okay. So do you guys have any thoughts, JP players, your reactions to how these 2 units look in their TUR and EZA forms? I know Krillin's a Barbershop unit, and Bardock is from the end of the Saiyan story event or something like that. What was that called? The Lone Warriors.
Super old event.
Yeah, really old event. So what do you guys think of these 2 upgrades? I don't know if we have a... So I'll just read them out. So Krillin, with his TUR and his EZA, he becomes an all-types lead, key plus 350% across the board. He raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes supreme damage to the enemy, and lowers defense. Then his passive, attack and defense plus 70, high chance of guarding all attacks as the first attacker in a turn, medium chance of guarding all attacks as the second or third, and then reduces damage by 50% when guard is activated. That's for the Barbershop TUR EZA. And then for the Bardock, he's a giant form, key plus 4, 77% across the board. He raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes supreme damage. Key plus 3, attack and defense 77%, plus an additional attack 77% when facing 2 or more enemies, plus an additional key plus 3, attack plus 77 when there's a wicked bloodline category enemy, and the chance of turning into a giant ape is a thing. So what do you guys think about these 2 upgrades? It came out of nowhere. You guys happy with it?
Yeah, I mean, I think because this Krillin has been in the game for, 4 years or something like that? Like, he's just been in the Baba shop for like 4 years. You can purchase him with incredible gems. So I think, I don't really know if they had a plan for like, okay, how do we awaken this guy or EZA this guy as well? So they were just like, okay, yeah, we'll just make him awaken from these medals that already exist in the Saiyan Saga story event. And then might as well just give him some other EZA medals you can get from the Baba shop. So, I mean, they didn't really put much effort into the path to awakening this guy, but I don't really have a big problem with that just because he's so old. And then for the Bardock, that Bardock event is so old, like that literally, I think that event literally came out like 2016 or maybe even 2015. But this Bardock used to, I believe he started as an R unit. You literally farmed him as an R.
Yeah.
And then he only awakened to an SR, I think. And then eventually they renewed the event. You could awaken him to an SSR. And then now you can finally awaken him to a UR, and then he gets an EZA.
Isn't his R and SR like the exact same art?
I think
Pretty
it was,
much,
yeah.
It is. Didn't they update it and then he got the SR? And it was
Yeah,
just
I
an
think
SR
that's been
from then?
discontinued. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, it's just, I literally have it in my box because I didn't want to sell it because it's like an exclusive unit you can no longer obtain. But yeah, this guy, he's good. He was clearly made with this Frieza Prime Battle EZA thing in mind, just because of the extra attack buff and key he gets versus the Wicked Bloodline stuff. So that was clearly in design, and also the fact that he's AGL, right? So I'm wondering, did they do this for the Frieza like Prime Battle, or was this just like, I don't know, something that they've always wanted to do? I think it's probably because of the Frieza Prime Battle they decided to do this, and then they were just like, yeah, have him do extra stuff versus Wicked Bloodline, whatever.
I think they just got lucky, and I think they just said, you know what, Bardock's a thing. Let's bring him in. Why not? Because this guy's very forgettable. When would you ever use this guy before this? And like you said, this event is ancient. Sunblade, I think you were about to say something.
No, I didn't say anything. It's fine.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, this event, like, again, I don't think I've ever used this character since he's come out. Since like 2016, I've never used this guy once. But now they're forcing me to, so I guess I will now.
Yeah, I actually I didn't have the Krillin or Bardock rainbowed before their awakening skin out.
What?
Yep.
Bro. Truth, you okay, man?
I think we have an imposter in here. Where's the real
Yeah,
truth?
vote him out. Get him
Where
out.
is he?
Listen, not at the point where I have every unit rainbowed yet.
So until we have more information on the Prime Battle Frieza, we will just have to speculate wildly. And I think we did a little bit of that last week. Goresh was, fangirling out about what the potential could be for this guy. Wicked Bloodline, Terrifying Conquerors, something like that.
You're talking about the Frieza himself?
Yeah, the Frieza himself.
Yeah. Okay. So for the Frieza himself, I really want to see him be more of a Planet Namek saga oriented.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Planet Namek
Yeah,
Saga.
because again, and we'll talk about the LR Turles later, but there's just so many STR units for all of his categories that I think it would be better if they focused more on the categories that he has that aren't as good to get those up to snuff as well. And I think there's a lot more they can do with the Planet Namek Saga category. There's the Ginyu Force units, there's Captain Ginyu, there's Zarbon Dodoria, there's like the Kid Gohan, who doesn't even know, I don't think he has a unit from this saga. Actually, no, he does the Int support one, because technically he's from the Planet Namek Saga, but he doesn't have there's no Armor Gohan from there, there's no Armor Krillin from the Planet Namek Saga.
Krillin doesn't even have a card in there in general.
Yeah, we're obviously going to get an LR for the Goku, right? Super Saiyan Goku. That's like obviously going to happen at some point. Same with the
eventually,
Final Form
for sure.
Frieza.
Yeah.
But that category has a lot of room to grow. So I think they could start expanding on that with this guy being like some super powerful unit for, designed specifically for the Planet Namek Saga category.
I know we touched on this a little bit, but I wanted to just ask this once more in case we didn't quite cover it. But moving forward for LR EZAs, as we've seen, the EZAs have been for free-to-play units, so the trade-off for having the unit already available, but then the cost of upgrading is time and effort and investment on other things. Would you guys like to see this exact type of a situation moving forward for the next LR EZA, be it Prime Battle Vegeta or some other free-to-play LR? Would you guys like to see where you have to have these 6 units available, maxed out, or awakened and ready to go? Would you like to see that, or would you like to see them try to shake things up with different formats? Or is this enough for you guys?
It's fine.
I personally like this system because it gives me a huge sense of accomplishment when I've done this. So yeah, I'm happy with this system. But if they are deciding to improve that, mix things up, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think the biggest winners, well, I mean, obviously the biggest winners of this event are the new characters that got awakenings and EZAs because of this, right? So the Krillin and Bardock. I think if it weren't for this event, they would never have gotten awakenings and EZAs. But now, because this event is out, they are. So the next one in line should be the Trunks, the AGL Super Saiyan Trunks in the future. He's probably next in line. So if they go down that path, but the same sort of format as the Goku and Frieza, you might see some of the older free-to-play units associated with the Trunks to get awakenings and EZAs as well. So that's going to help the game as well, because again, these units are not just useful for these events specifically, but I mean, they're designed for these. Because you take a look at the Krillin, like, he's actually pretty good, like just straight up. Like, you could use that Krillin in like Super Battle Road, and he's not going to be like one shot.
Look
Oh,
at that.
he's actually very good. He's very good on that.
That Int Frieza, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's the same thing with him too. Like these units that are getting awakenings and EZAs because of these Prime Battle EZA campaigns, like they're the big winners alongside obviously the EZAs themselves. So that's why I think this format is actually pretty good.
Yeah, as long as they stick to like the Prime Battle LRs for this sort of structure, I quite like it because it does harken back to like the way the Goku event was originally, where you had to use that like very specific
That's true.
team.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an upgraded version of that. And then I think just to add on to like even for people who are more pay to play or whatever, you're kind of rewarded for doing the grind that you obviously have to do in order to be able to do the event, because most of the units involved are actually pretty decent anyway. So it's not like a huge waste of time that you're getting them farmed up.
All right, so it's time to move on to the newest LR to hit JP.
Wait. You sure you don't want to talk about free-to-play units some more? I mean, we can talk about B-Pan if you want.
Sounds like someone's itching to talk about non-free to play. Am I getting that vibe right from you?
Well, no, it's not that. It's Turles is like the second damn best unit in the game or something like that. We're like,
That's what
oh yeah, this
talking
Bardock,
about, man.
okay, he's aight. Like, it's like, don't do this. Bring Turles up, dude.
Okay, you know what? Hey, how about this? True. Do you want to lead this segment? Do you want to lead us in on this one?
I thought
No,
you were
I'm
to play.
gonna leave it to you.
Okay. I mean, you're a good hype man for this. All right, Turles, y'all. Turles is here. True. Oh my God, second best LR in the game. Talk about it.
Okay, people are going crazy in the chat. I don't know if I'm quite gonna say he's second best in the game right now, because like, I just think he's up there, right? Because it's like when I've used him, I haven't had a chance to use like Candy Vegito and a lot of them too much because there's a stupid world tournament on, which is always so fun. So
We'll talk about that. We'll
excitement
talk about
over
that.
here on JP right now with this world tournament. But Turles, I did sort of like finish up and get a good glance at him. He drops 8 million attack stats, super effective against all types, and then he has a 50% chance to do a second super attack. Like, please tell me the long list of units who can match that.
Well, it's not even that. It's that he's also supporting the rotation.
And then he's supporting.
Yep.
And then he has a high chance to stun too.
This unit kind of reminds me of the LR androids, but on crack cocaine, basically, plus steroids, plus like meth. So, like the LR androids are very specifically designed to be ran on the androids category because they're supporting that. Their leader skills for the androids category, like they're an androids category unit. They're pigeonholed into being that kind of unit. This guy, he's designed to be a terrifying conqueror support type unit. But the thing is, this guy really reminds me a lot of these support type units. So like, or the type supporters, like, you know, the Int Gohan, the STR Kaba, stuff like that. Where, yeah, you would prefer to run them alongside the units that they're supporting, but it doesn't matter because you can just throw this guy anywhere and he's going to be good. So I think him supporting Terrifying Conquerors is just like an additional perk that you have for running this guy, but it doesn't matter if he actually does that or not. He's good enough to just throw on any team that he fits on, and he's just instantly going to be good enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way that I see it.
Where did this guy come from and why?
Well, it's funny because they did this last time, because when they released the AGL Dokkan Fest Turles, at the time that he came out, no one would have expected them to drop a Turles card that was that good.
So have they been consistently inconsistent with Turles?
I mean, if I remember rightly, when the Int one came out way back when, he was considered good, right? When he first came out?
He was, yeah.
He was.
The way
Yeah.
they made him really good, yeah.
So yeah, the thing is, right, so Turles, he's a weird one, because I feel like he would be a lot more popular in the community in general if they'd just given him different hair. If he literally wasn't just recolored Goku, I feel
That's a
like
very
more
interesting
people would
take,
be...
man.
Yeah, I feel like more people would be like interested in him as a character if he wasn't just recolored Goku, but... I've always
Yeah,
had a
but
soft
he's very
spot for some of the
popular in
lower
Japan.
tier units, so I was hyped when they brought out the AGL Turles, so yeah, I was super hyped when I saw the reveals for this guy, because obviously his animations are fantastic, so...
Sunblade, go ahead.
Yeah, he's very popular in the Japan though, so I can see the point Akatsuki bringing him. But the timing is weird with the Frieza and yeah.
Yeah, it just seems so out of place given that we were just talking about how things are leading up to a 6-year anniversary Ultra Instinct. And then suddenly, oh yeah, guys, by the way, here's Turles and his Fruit of the Loom squad.
Well, okay, because
Well, actually, didn't. No, go on.
I was just gonna say the big issue. Well, not really a big issue, but the only real issue I have with this unit is the fact that he's at strength. Because I think the reason why they release this guy now is for him to sort of pair alongside the Frieza who's going to get the EZA we just talked about.
Probably.
But there's so many STR units on this on his small set of categories. Terrifying Conquerors. I'm going to open up the list right now actually. See if I could just the leader of the team is cooler. He's STR. Then you're getting the STR Frieza EZA. Then you have full power Frieza LR. I don't know. I feel like they could have made this guy something else that wasn't STR. How about Tech?
Yeah,
exactly.
Actually, I think Tech would have been really good actually for that team. I think.
Would you think the reason why they went with the STR was because the only Turles that exists that's not an SSR is STR? Because the only one that we had was the SR drop from the story event, right?
Yeah, but that's I hate that. I hate that argument. It's so
I mean,
stupid.
they've
Who
done things
cares?
like this before.
Isn't the only Tech Turles the World Tournament one?
Yep.
Yeah, Tech Turles World Tournament. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no physical one either, is there? So.
Oh wait, is there not? Oh, there isn't.
Yeah, they could have done a
Oh, they
physical
could
one.
they could have done physical. That's true.
But yeah, that's my only gripe that I have with this unit. He's obviously insanely good. He does way too many things perfectly. But the typing could have been better, in my opinion.
So there is a trending meme regarding Turles that I'm sure a lot of you guys are aware of. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, so I'm going to say it in the most safe way possible. We have an LR Raisin Face before an LR Kid Buu.
All right, that's where I cut in. Enough with Kid Buu. People.
Okay, good.
Oh, before Kid Buu, we had LR Zangia before every popular character in the game. Relax. This is not the first time this happened. So many people have been saying that. Oh, Kid Buu. Oh, relax. Oh my god.
I like the high pitched voice there, Truth.
No,
Very nice.
I love when Discord cancels people's voices when they go supersonic. I love it. So anyway, the question was going to be, is there a unit that deserves more justice in light of this one showing up? Is this something where we can be just happy for a random Turles, or is it more about, okay, but what about this one or this one? Not necessarily Kid Buu, Truth, don't worry. Not necessarily about Kid Buu, but is there some other unit that should have made the cut before this?
This is going to be the Garlic Jr. thing again, isn't it?
Oh, God.
No one would have said it. You brought it up, dude. You brought it up.
How about LR Final Form Cooler?
Mm.
To go
That'd be
alongside
cool.
the Frieza who just came out?
How about this? What about Garlic Jr.?
No.
No.
How about Dr. Wheelo? There you go.
Oh,
Dr.
Hey, man, don't knock that one until you try it. I actually would be down for that.
Well, because then they could release mind-controlled Piccolo, who has a different name, and
You
would
mean the
actually
character
help.
who's literally in the game already?
Truth,
Yeah.
I bet you they would
Yep.
still name him Piccolo, even if
yeah,
he's mind controlled.
they would 100% name him Piccolo. They 100% would.
No, because I think he's called Piccolo Corrupted or something in game right now, isn't he?
I think it's mind control. Let me look it up.
I still bet you they'll find a way. Forget it. His name is
Oh,
Piccolo.
they would.
Piccolo brainwashed.
Okay, there you go.
Piccolo brainwashed. Is he? Wait. What is that
Here,
from?
he has
What-
a name. He's in the
He's in the quest mode.
him and Dr. Cochin are.
Oh
And they're
man, that's
not
a
off.
throwback.
Doesn't
That's
Dr.
a
Cochin
throwback.
team up with Dr. Giro?
Yeah, I think so. And they
Uh-huh.
stick Android 16 on you or something like that. Yeah.
What is this unit's best, most optimal event? What is the event where this unit would thrive the most and cause the most carnage? This LR Turles.
Every event.
Yeah, because when I was using him at Rainbow, I mean, he's sitting between 170 to 225k defense. That's without level 10 big bad bosses. So, legendary Goku event, Goku needs to super him to hurt him. Super Battle Road, he's got the high chance to stun. He's good everywhere. There is no weakness to this Turles.
And this guy is so good, in fact, that his TUR, you could say, is better than the AGL Dokkan Fest TUR. Would you guys agree with that?
I would say yes and no. I would say that the TUR for this guy is a better partner with him because of the fact that he's specifically buffing Terrifying Conqueror. But if you're running the Turles on, or if you're running like the what is it, the Final Trump card team, like the AGL one's probably going to be better because he's buffing everybody, whereas this guy's only buffing the Terrifying Conquerors category. And that like if you're running like the blue fusions, like they're not going to be getting buffed from this guy, while they would be getting buffed from the AGL one. So I think it all depends on the setup that you're running. But I think if you're going to compare both of them in like a vacuum, I would prefer this guy more often than not, the STR TUR, because he has way more defense, and that's I think more important right now.
Is this guy worth rainbowing on top of the LR? Truth?
I mean, honestly, probably not, because AGL Turles is good enough. But I mean,
yeah, I think it's a marginal upgrade at best.
I already talked LR into it. So.
Talon, do you think it's kind of a misstep that the active skill where he eats the fruit and he gains ki plus 24 doesn't come with a heal too? Do you think that was a misstep, or was it fair to omit that given this guy, you know, how he's totally broken already?
God, if they give this guy a heal on top of what he does already, damn, that would be that'd be ridiculous. I think the reason they didn't give him the heal though is because you can use it twice. So that's gonna be my guess as to why they did it. They didn't include that. But God, if he had a heal, man, you just had my mind go through all these possibilities with that question.
The Fruit of the Tree of Might in Dokkan, like the item, is literally just ki plus 3. So I think that's the reason why they made it like this. They sort of just designed it after that.
Yeah, they probably just kind of, it was like, all right, let's just make it 24 ki, you know, because if you notice, there's really no, he doesn't gain extra attack or anything like that. It's just literally giving yourself ki. So.
Any final thoughts on Fruit of the Loom before we move on?
Should have been tech.
Should have been physical. Should have been Garlic Jr.
Literally anything but STR.
All right.
Yeah, makes you wonder how good some of these upcoming units are going to be, huh? Mm.
Hey, Truth. We're going to be talking about some free-to-play. You ready for this?
Oh, please, yeah.
World Tournament! World Tournament is here. And for JP, this would be the 37th World Tournament. You guys are still getting the Demon King Piccolo, but you do have a new Gohan unit. So basically, I'm just going to open the floor for you guys to talk about how are your World Tournament runs going? I believe it's still going on right now, right? So how are you guys doing over there on JP with this World Tournament, the new Gohan, the new TURs? Lay it on me. What's going on?
Well, I mean, the Chi-Chi is a little specific, and she doesn't seem quite as good as some of these other ones have been. And, you know, Talon is foaming at the mouth to talk about the next World Tournament Awakening, right?
Hell yeah.
The only thing is Int Cell, man. He's not going to be better than Int Cell. That's the only thing.
Okay, go ahead and keep talking. I'll talk about what I talked in my video, but continue. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Like, the Gohan seems okay, but, like, you need a Piccolo. Maybe if, like, LR Piccolo had his EZA, that would work a little bit better for that Gohan, because it's a Saiyan Saga, like, Gohan, right? The Chi-Chi, I feel like, is going to be solid. Grandpa Gohan is pretty good, but, like, yeah, have fun in that Dragon Ball Saga banner. Like, I think the World Tournament Awakenings were kind of weak this World Tournament. And the reward card, too, like that Gohan. Like, when you have free-to-play units and it's just like, oh, he gets an attack buff here, an attack buff here, an attack buff here. It's like, yeah, that's awesome with his 11,000 attack stat. Who cares, right? So, that's kind of the thing.
Can I talk about
Go
it?
ahead, Talon. The floor is yours. Go for it.
Yeah, all right. We're finally getting selling SSJ2 Great Saiyaman to awaken in the next couple World Tournaments. All right, if you guys can't tell, I'm super hyped about this. But yes, of course, to Truth's point, the int obviously the LR int cell is going to be leagues better than the World Tournament one. That being said, though, if you need to run a team where it's like, I've already got these monsters on here and I would rather just boost everybody, Cell can be the tech cell from the World Tournament is going to give them that awesome support buff. I mean, let's just imagine for a moment that they do the same type of update that they did with High School Gohan from the World Tournaments, and they gave that to Cell. Finally, you could just throw Cell off rotation as a support unit. You're not gonna have to worry about him getting blasted in the hard events, and he's gonna be it's gonna be awesome. Same thing with the SSJ2 Great Saiyaman. I mean, he already craps over the physical one. Even if the physical one gets an EZA, who cares? Because this Gohan is just support units, right? I would run him as a as the main Great Saiyaman Super Saiyan 2 unit over the physical one any day of the week, basically. So that's why it's really good. Again, yes, unfortunately, the tech cell has the whole name fighting thing with the int LR, but again, if you have a team where it's like, I already have it stacked, let's just throw a support unit in there, make these guys tank and hit harder, instead of having the LR in cell, who again clearly is good, but you know, what's the point? So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. It's probably unfortunately gonna be another couple months probably until we get the next world tournament, but either way, I'm super excited. Team B, you better get it. Team A, F off.
Well, the biggest thing about the cell is that he's tech.
Yeah, that too. Yep.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing in my opinion.
Sunblade, the resident, see what I did there? Speedrunner. How do you approach these world tournaments, and are there any particular strats that you employ when it comes to these world tournaments in general? What are your overall thoughts on how to do well on this thing? And do you actually try to rank pretty high on this event?
Okay, so first off, you nailed it on the first part, like the Resident Evil 4 speedrunner thing. So I try to like beat this stuff as fast as possible because it is so tedious, and I tweeted about it today. I hate the World Tournament so much. I think it's one of the worst things in Dokkan. So I try to beat it as fast as possible, and Truth talked about it months ago. Thanks to LR Nappa, this World Tournament can be done even faster, and I think Terrifying Conquerors is the way to go in the World Tournament, hands down. Nothing comes close to it. So I run a Terrifying Conquerors team with the new EZA Reddits for Global, for example. I have the physical Broly on here as well, thanks to the leader skill from Cooler. You can run Turles on there, you can run Gs on there to foresee super attacks, you can always run the in metal Cooler, or the AoE Frieza, the physical one or the AGL one. I love Terrifying Conquerors for the World Tournament. And no, I don't try to rank very high. We talked about this before we actually started the podcast. You said that you are going to invest around 200 stones for the World Tournament, right?
That's the plan for me. Yep.
And the time that is needed, like it's too much for me. Like I don't have the strength to do it.
Dude,
a couple of names in there, my boy. A couple of big names, important names. Forget anyone?
What do you mean? You?
Jacko and Chaozu, of course. Hello? Hello?
Sure, right?
Hello?
Wow,
Yeah,
you don't like using Ghost Ushers?
Yeah, because we all have time to have thousands of Ghost Ushers ready to go, right? Like,
Yeah, I do.
I do.
I do too.
oh, please. Okay, go. All right, go ahead. Toon, how many Ghost Ushers do you have right now in your box? Go ahead.
I think I have 600 or 500.
That's not enough. Like,
That's
what
enough.
do you-
That's enough given... Okay, look, I run Chaozu and Jocko, by the way.
Okay,
But,
all right, then you're done.
yeah. But,
then you're done.
but the other items that I use, I have about 4,000 to 5,000 of those. So I'm good to go. I'm ready.
Yeah.
And you know what? While we're on the subject of that, let's move on to the global side, because global is also getting the world tournament, but we're getting it next week. And for us, this is going to be the first world tournament, the 34th one, but the first one where we get the Demon King Piccolo. So we'll finally get to see what all the fuss is about
Finally.
with
He's
that
good.
unit.
He's
I know a lot of people have been eagerly waiting. So, Mastingen, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on this unit? What are your thoughts on just anything in general about the world tournament? Are you excited? How far do you plan to go? Just give it to us. What's going on?
I mean, I'm excited. Chain Battle finally gave us the World Tournament is not the worst mode in Dokkan anymore. So I
Man, I will fight you on that. Let's calm down.
I hate it that much, but
No way, no.
as much as the World Tournament is a pain and a grind and it kind of sucks, I have been looking forward to another one because I need orbs, and
Amen.
it's always a good way to get them. I will go pretty hard. I don't normally only aim for like top 1,000, and then it just kind of depends how the grind is at the end. But I feel like because this is the first one with Demon King Piccolo, it'll be one of the ones that is probably more active. So I think getting to the higher tiers will be a little bit more difficult. Obviously, everyone's excited to get Demon King Piccolo. He's going to be a good addition for Extreme Tech. The Trunks, that is the actual reward card, the movie hero support. He seems okay, but not like, he's not like a top tier be rushing to add him to your movie heroes team. But I think the thing with these world tournament units is a lot of them start off that way and then get really good after they get their awakening. So it's just one of those things. We don't really know what he's going to end up being like. So get the copies of him. And yeah, I can imagine there's going to be some very sweaty local things this time with everyone trying to get the 2 copies of Demon King Piccolo straight away rather than 1.
Just pray you're not in the lobby with me, man.
Godspeed to anybody who gets in there with me.
Just okay.
I feel like that every
time.
time. So, yeah,
Can I say something on that real quick?
What's up?
Don't worry, guys, if you don't get your top local ranking up to spot, I believe it's 100. You get 1 copy of the Piccolo, and 1 copy of Piccolo. He's actually pretty good. So don't be sad if you can't get first place, and unfortunately if you get stuck in with Goresh or anybody. 1 copy of Demon King Piccolo, he is good. And then obviously when the next world tournament comes around, as long as you stay within the top 100 local rankings, which honestly isn't that hard, you're good to go.
Well, also keep in mind that you still need a minimum of 3 world tournaments to rainbow him, so you can afford to get 1 copy in one of those.
Yeah,
Right.
That's true.
It also is top 150, by the way, for Piccolo.
Oh, is it one? Did they change it to
Even
150?
easier. Yep.
Oh, cool. Okay, I didn't know about that change. So all right, that's definitely even better.
When
so
did
there
that
you go.
happen? When did that
I
change
don't know.
happen?
I don't know.
Because given the state of things right now, in the world, and given the fact that Global is now getting, what is it, the first world tournament since before the 5-year? It's been a little while. People are going to be pretty eager to go at it, and I know Goresh. I think Truth, you've also placed in like the top 15 or top 10 at one point, right?
I think 30 was my highest.
Okay, so you guys can definitely agree. You can feel when the competition is fierce. You can feel it because when you're in between rounds and you're seeing your rank either not go up or drop like a rock. You can really tell when the competition is really going. So, do you think that this is probably going to be on Global the sweatiest world tournament ever?
Yes.
I feel like the answer to that is hell no. Aren't most people tired out from this by now?
No.
I mean, you would think, but now that Piccolo is finally here, after all the months we've seen you guys, flexing that unit on us.
The last world tournament I played on Global didn't feel any less sweaty than the other ones did to me.
I would like to see like a listing of all the like high scores for Global and JP World Tournaments for like the last, I guess all of them.
JP is obviously more competitive, but from a global standpoint, this is
I don't need to compare like them against each other, but just to compare the JP World Tournaments to the JP World Tournaments and the Global ones to the Global ones, right? I'd be curious to see if the scores like are people grinding harder or not as hard like now compared to 10 World Tournaments ago.
I think so the top scores I don't think are much different. Like the top 100. I think if you looked at just the top 100, it's probably not much different than the other ones. But you might be right in the fact that like it's easier to get into the top maybe 10,000 spots than it used to be. But I don't think the people who are gunning for the top 100 spots are much the point values are not much different. And that's what I care about the most because I'm obviously going to gun for those top spots.
Can I just say, we have Hydros manning the boards. I would say this is probably the most genius implementation of B-roll footage ever. He's actually doing the world tournament. So I was going to ask you guys, how many of you right now, because there's 3 of you who could be, how many of you are doing the world tournament as we speak?
Present.
I do, yep.
I am as well. Yeah.
Okay.
I will
Hydros just got shut down. I don't know what
happened.
what happened to you. All right, so that is going to wrap up the first half of the show, but don't go away. We're going to be answering your Twitter questions coming up next. We're just going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Okay, guys, we are back. And before we get started with the Twitter questions, I just wanted to thank a few members that we received during this stream. First, we have Dondre with the 59 Plus membership. We also have Sunblade with the 59 Plus membership as well. And then we also have Night Shroud with the 59 Ultra membership. Appreciate that. Thank you. Just so you guys are aware, the Ultra membership allows your name to be displayed at the end of the stream, where we will show all our 59 Ultra members' names, like sort of like above the logo at the end. Just to give you guys a little bit of extra exclusivity there at the end. We also have a few donations. Let's go through those real quick before we jump into the questions. We have Helme Cry with the $10. He says, not Dokkan related, but what's everyone's favorite Super Saiyan transformation? Mine is Super Saiyan 5. Huh. Okay. Mine would probably be, as sort of like a cop-out answer, a specific one, but the Super Saiyan, regular Super Saiyan, but it's specifically Goku from Namek because of like the way that he was like all buffed up and stuff. That's my favorite form from Super Saiyan.
Nice. Mine's 3.
Vegeta.
3?
Yeah, mine's 3.
I guess my favorite would probably be. I kind of have to go. This is more nostalgia from when I was a kid and everything, but I actually like Super Saiyan 2, if not just simply for the electricity that goes.
Oh wait,
that
are
goes
you talking
along.
about? Oh, I thought it was Super Saiyan. Oh, Super Saiyan 4 is the best.
Yeah, that's since
Yes.
UI doesn't qualify for this. I would say Super Saiyan 4.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yep, I agree.
We also have Elpris Cat with the $5 donation. It says, judging by how LR Turles is #1 in the game, I imagine villain LRs are going to outclass hero LRs. So should we only summon for villain LRs?
No.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't agree with that.
Can we save this for year 6 when it comes back around?
Yeah. I would say it's not just like, oh, this guy's a villain, summon for him. It's not that black and white, I don't think.
Yep.
Then we have Helmet Crow with another $5. He says, also, by the way, Prime Battle Goku's EZA, the super attacks weren't required to be maxed. The units just needed to be rainbowed. That makes sense. And then we also have one more from Mr. Mosley, $2. He says, Moro Arc UI Goku's heals enemy 100% active skill. I like it.
Man, I sadly already know what that means. Damn it.
I like it.
All right, that I think covers all the donations and members that we received so far. So again, we appreciate you guys in becoming members and donating and stuff. It really helps the stream out a lot. As we, make things more professional looking, we try to improve the stream and the channel every day. So appreciate that again. And with that, we'll just go back to the podcast and we'll resume with our questions. So Tune, over to you.
Thank you, Garesh. So, guys, a couple of days before the podcast stream happens, we ask you guys on Twitter to post some of your questions. So make sure you follow us on Twitter at 59gaming1. And we will begin this week's questions starting with Zainoun Elasal. Hopefully I said that right. What was the most exciting and rewarding period in Dokkan?
I would actually separate those two things because I don't think the most exciting part was the most rewarding period. I think the most rewarding period was when LR Goku first came out, because when he first came out, he was arguably the best unit in the game. Him and Super Vegeta were like, kind of gunning for it, but obviously Super Vegeta I think was better in the end of the day. But LR Goku was like, he was up there too, and he was completely free to play. So, I mean, in this day and age, if they released a free-to-play unit that was the best in the game, like, that would be unheard of almost. So, for me, that was the most rewarding period. But then the most exciting, there's a few candidates for that, but I don't think anything stands up to when Physical Vegeta Blue and AGL Rose were first revealed in the news.
Yep.
Literally, like, the day after the episode came out with Vegeta Blue, and people were literally, like, going bananas. Like, I've never seen people react that way to any other reveal before, ever.
I can't speak for everybody, but for me personally, the most exciting was the LRUI Goku reveal. That, for me, was monumental. I don't think I'd never seen an animation that good in Dokkan before. So him showing up was probably the most exciting moment for me ever in Dokkan. Anybody else?
Yeah, my most exciting moment is the release of Int Gogeta on global. Like, you couldn't get in on global for like one hour, I believe. So yeah, I was hoping that I get that card, and yeah, did pull him after 1,500 stones. So yeah, Int Gogeta is
from the FU celebration.
I still didn't like the logic. People were mad that they added Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Omega to the banners. Like, never understood that.
Alrighty, let's move on to the next question. Brought to us by I don't know what my name should be. That's the name of the person. All right. Here's the question. Can Dokkan ever do a crossover again like they did for One Piece? Like what they did for One Piece?
I mean,
in terms of like, if they can, they can. I think. I don't think they can't.
But I don't think they would ever want to.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, they're not going to.
I think if they had that on their plate, it would have already been done again. But I don't. At this point, it's been so long that I don't think so.
Yeah, the game is too successful. It doesn't need that.
Yeah, exactly. If anything, it would just be other in-house Dragon Ball stuff, which is basically what they're doing with Heroes, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll add one more. If you had to have one other IP to cross over, because you could, which one would it be?
That's a tough question.
It's hard. It's really hard to think of one that would fit well with Dragon Ball, rather than just pick. You don't want to just pick your favorite other franchise and be like, yeah, they could mash these two things together, because then obviously I'd pick JoJo, but that does not fit with Dragon Ball like at all. So
Yeah. Well, we'll just leave that as food for thought. You don't actually have to answer that. We'll just move on. We'll move on to the next question, brought to us by Lasers. Ooh, lasers. I like lasers. Although it appears that LR Blue Boys should arrive in December, would it be wise to skip that banner for the transforming AGF? Angel Golden Frieza. Thank you. I figured it out before you told me. Angel Golden Frieza's banner just seems miles more beneficial and valuable.
Well,
depends.
I mean, the Blue Boys banner is kind of
You're forgetting the one thing.
The Blue Boys themselves?
No, it's global. And you know what that means.
Yep.
3+1 tickets, peel-offs, trove, everything else that they do on global.
Yeah, because
we can't tell you right now whether or not it's worth it, because we don't know what they're going to do on global.
Or what that banner, like the Angel Golden Frieza banner, could be different.
Well, yeah, but also the blue Vegeta and Goku banner could also be different. Like, we know that it's at least going to be 3+1, because that's the same thing they did for Gohan and Goten last year. It was 3+1. Now, I don't believe Gohan and Goten's banner had tickets on it for global.
No, but it was 3+.
It's possible that this one doesn't have tickets, but we can't tell you whether or not that's going to happen or not. So I think the only way we could tell... I was going to say, I think the only way we could tell you whether or not to summon or not is if we see the banner first, and then we know all the gimmicks associated with it.
But isn't this one's the replacement for the banner? The one that we got last year at the same time was when it was the one that had the return of the LR Super Saiyan 4s, and then the Go Bros.
No, that's a separate banner.
It's different. Global didn't have a banner like this last year because we got a global first.
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's move on to the next question, brought to us by Mista. Shout out to JoJo fans out there. Mista asks, with the STR Krillin getting an awakening /EZA through the Baba Shop, it now seems they're going to do that with every Baba Shop unit. And if so, do you guys expect them to release a new weekly event for Incredible Gems to cover the ridiculous costs? Example, 777 gems for the Super Saiyan 2 something.
Okay.
You get the idea.
So there's this Frieza simulation event that's going on right now, which sucks. It's terrible, right? It's not fun. It's a punching bag event, basically.
Yeah.
But one of the rewards it gives you like some Z swords, you get a couple of stones, you get some dozing Elder Kais, but there is 15 incredible gems in there as well. So they are aware, and they have, they gave us Purunga. When the LR Goku EZA area was coming around, they knew what they were doing. So they are making it a bit easier in some spots to get incredible gems, but link level grinding. That's all you got to do, my boy.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I
that's
was
all
saying
you need.
link grinding. Yeah, that's the easiest way.
Yeah, so
I'm at
when
almost
the
10,000 right now.
well, yeah, when this was all announced, I don't think I had never bought a single copy of that Krillin. So I bought the 5 copies to open up all of his paths and a 6th copy ready to have a spare SA5 one, and I think I still have like 4,000 or 5,000 gems because I've just been link leveling when not doing anything else. So
If they were to do the Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, let's just say tomorrow for some reason, with all the link grinding, and obviously we know that I think the average player does less than what we personally do because again we're content creators and everything. But even then, like you'd be amazed how many you get just going via link leveling, and then you go into the Baba shop and you're like, oh, I can almost max this guy out like SA and dupe paths just buying him. So if you do just a little bit of link grinding like every day or every other day or something like that, you'll get there no problem. So because they're only doing 1 Baba shop unit per EZA. So, and those EZAs are spread out. So it's not too terrible in my personal opinion right now.
Has anyone run the math on how many gems you'd need to get everything from the shop?
I don't really want to.
yeah, especially
Also-
because there's a
Everything
couple
rainbow.
that do cost 777. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
I have
Yeah.
everything rainbow, but again, I'm also max rank. So
Yeah, well, I mean, I have everything done, and I did before link level grinding was even a thing, and I was only what, like 830.
yeah, it's not even
Well,
that
you're the king of Dokkan, so that doesn't count.
Mm-hmm.
But keep in mind that not level 900 is halfway to 999.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. All right, let's move on to the next question brought to us by Frieza Tardio. What's your guys' least favorite Dokkan Fest exclusive? For me, personally, it'd have to be Int Ultimate Gohan. I'm not too big of a fan of him.
Oh,
Sunblade,
damn, I am.
we'll start with Sunblade on this one. What's your least favorite Dokkan Fest exclusive?
Okay, I don't know if this is a hot take for some people, but I absolutely hate Physical Super Vegito now. He's absolutely worthless. You have no incentive to run this guy. Find
You're
something.
hurting my
You have
soul
no-
by saying that.
You have no incentive whatsoever.
He's not wrong though.
He's right. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
He's trash. He's absolute trash. I'm mad when I talk about this. So yeah, let's go on to the next one. So yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that because when he came out, I just didn't stop using the AGL one over him in any other team other than Super Physical. So
You guys are gonna know which one mine is. Physical transforming Vegeta. Just because he's on every banner.
You know what's funny, dude? I hate the transforming Goku with a passion.
Because he's also on every banner.
Because he's also on every banner.
Yeah, but y'all have fun with that blue Goku and Vegeta banner because they put both of them on there.
Oh my
Yep.
god. I'm gonna rainbow like 3 other copies of him by doing that.
Just to be fair, I think the reason why they do that is because they're both super new player oriented. Like if you're a new player and you pull like the physical Vegeta, like you're set on leaders forever, pretty much.
100%.
Like you just pull him and you're like you just use him as your leader, and as long as you have like 5 other super class units to use, like you're good. So it's a good starting unit to start with.
For me, it's Tech Super Saiyan 3 Broly. After seeing what Super
Yeah.
Saiyan did to Dokkan.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna
Yeah,
say
but-
AGL. I thought you were gonna say AGL Super Vegeta.
But yeah, just I would say either Broly or in terms of picking someone different, I would say STR Ultimate Gohan. I think he's awful. The fact that
Oh
he-
god.
I
oh,
hate
God.
I hate units that have like they only have one specific like defensive capability, like whether it's guarding or reducing damage, but then they only have a certain chance to do it, and so then when they don't, they just get absolutely destroyed.
Yeah. I'd probably say, yeah, honestly, Super Saiyan 3 Broly or STR Ultimate Gohan. I think, man, those two definitely take the cake.
I also hate Turles. Turles will never leave me alone.
Transforming Vegeta has to be the worst. Come on.
All right, and we're going to move on now to our final Twitter question for the show, brought to us by Kefla's Earrings. What's your thoughts on the state of Dokkan as a whole, both JP and global, and how healthy the game is as opposed to times past. Units have never been better, but the meager celebrations worry me at times.
We can talk about this for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, this is a very vague question. Like, there's so much room for... Because we've had really good celebrations recently as well. And then, yeah, there's always the odd filler ones. But yeah, free-to-play units have never been better. Like, obviously, we probably all remember a time where if you were somebody who spends on the game, like free-to-play, you just never really used any of them. Unless maybe they were the LRs. That's good for the game overall, but yeah, I don't know. I would say it's in a good place. It's nice, as much as I don't like Chain Battle, it's nice that they're like experimenting with other modes and exploring new ways to be able to give us rewards and stuff. So
let me ask you this: do you guys like how they're handling extremes through Battle Road? Like, do you like the fact that they're just copying and pasting the old one and like changing typings around?
Don't have an issue.
Not
with it.
really, but
It's super easy to do, and it gives us a lot of content. But as a trade-off, we then also need more stuff like Chain Battle, right?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think it's fine, but it can't be the only thing that we're getting.
Yeah, it's good
It's
as
so
a
easy.
supplement, not a replacement.
Yeah. So yeah, I just knows because can't you just look in the file and see that they just change like numbers? That's it. They just called it okay, new event.
damn.
But yeah, I think it's okay. I definitely wouldn't call this the best period in Dokkan ever. Like, it's not even close. But it's definitely not the worst, for sure.
I think the biggest problem they have, and we've talked about this before on previous episodes, and I'm sure we'll talk about it a million times, but with the power creep, they need to start introducing events that are more of a challenge. But as we've already discussed, like, how do they actually do that without just re-releasing an event type and then cranking up all the numbers? So it's a tricky one.
Yeah. I mean, in this game, I don't think power creep is that big of a problem. It certainly is a slight problem, because then you're going to have to force events to be harder. I think that's why we're getting all these extremes for Battle Road things right now, and they're just like, okay, instead of putting effort in, we're just gonna like make the numbers higher. But I like, for me, is there a reason why they just made like Frieza and Gohan like so overwhelmingly good? Like, I didn't see a point to that.
Same reason why they brought in Turles. Why not?
I don't know, because like, if you take a look at the 5th year anniversary and the units that came out for the 5th anniversary, and then you looked at like the next like few Dokkan Fests after that, like that was like a relatively even level of power. And then you look at like Gohan, and you look at like the LR Boo-Tanks, you look at LR Goku and Vegeta, you look at the Frieza, like it's very significant that they're just way better. Like, right, is that not true? Like, why is that? Is there a reason why they're so much better?
Maybe they do have some crazy event that's coming soon. Because, like, I remember when they released Tech Trunks, right? The Spirit Bomb Sword transforming Tech Trunks. The way he stacked literally couldn't be used in any event in the game. And I remember looking at it being like, what is this? Like, you can't even do this, right? Because he gets stronger for, like 10 turns and he's stacking. It's like, there's literally nothing you can do with this. And then the Legendary Goku event came out, like, 2 weeks later. So, like, there could be some event, because the link level thing, too, has unbalanced everything a lot. Like, these new extreme Super Battle Road stages are really tough, but, you know, we're still able to no-item basically all of them within the first week of it being out. Because, like, Gohan, you put him in any stage and he solos. So, like, I would have to think there's got to be something stronger or different coming, I guess. I don't know. PvP.
I think given that they're willing to take leaps with these events like Chain Battle, really trying to shake things up with, you know, house money and the stuff that they've already got in the game, I feel like Dokkan's in a good place because they're willing to take those steps, whether or not it's, you know, it takes a while for them to do it. I appreciate the effort, and I do appreciate that they're trying to do things like that. So I think moving forward, Dokkan's going to be in a good place, and yeah, I'm optimistic. So that is going to wrap up the Twitter question segment of the show. Like I said, if you guys want to be a part of that, make sure you follow us on Twitter. And a couple of days before the show, you can post your questions when we send out that tweet. But before we wrap things up, Goresh, I think we have a couple more donos that we should shout out.
Yeah, so first we have the B Warrior with $10. He says, Gresh, I don't understand. Weren't we supposed to get a cooler every year? Where's my golden medal cooler? Listen, we still have the Heroes collab next month. Don't count them out, right? Then we have a 50 peso donation from Rafa Senpai, who says, you think someday Dokkan will give the opportunity to buy the main unit with coins after using 2,000 Dragon Stones? I would say no, because wait, how would that work? Like, you have to use a certain number of stones, and then you get the chance to buy them. I guess
Yeah, so it's like
work.
more like a proper pity system.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess that could work.
I just, like, you look at me, Nolar, and Calic all getting destroyed on the Goku and Vegeta banner. Like, you guys put out these, like, type of theories. That would have costed Dokkan thousands and thousands, right? Like, I don't see anything like that ever happening. The coin system is already ridiculously generous enough.
I have to agree with Proof, yeah.
And then we have one more question from Nick, $2. He says, can Turles be considered the best in the game? I think it depends on what metrics you use to determine that. He's definitely, like, good enough in terms of the unit and what he can do. But do you consider, like, how many categories he's on? Do you consider the fact that he's only supporting one category? How about his typing? How well does he fit with the other really good units in that category? How is he easy to pull? He's very hard to pull because he's a summonable LR on a legendary summon banner. Like, there's a lot of metrics that you can use to determine whether or not a unit is the best or not. So it depends on how you want to classify that, I think. I don't know if anybody else wants to jump in.
Say, I haven't used them quite enough to say that for sure, but I do think he's definitely in the highest tier. Absolutely. Like, it's like he's in like a group of like 5 with like STR Vegito, Bootanks, Jiren, UI Goku, and then I guess I probably would put Blue Goku and Vegeta. So what, 6? So 6 at the top, I would say.
If you would have to answer right now, Truth, who's the best unit in the game?
I mean, I would go STR Vegito. I want to say UI Goku, but I'd go STR Vegito.
Yeah.
I think
Thank you.
What about Bootanks?
Wait, did people not agree with that? I mean, I thought that was pretty obvious.
What about
I would
Bootanks?
say Bootanks.
Oh,
I love Bootanks.
No.
So much fun.
One thing is that, like, Bootanks... Well, I mean, Vegito himself gets obliterated. He gets embarrassed in the wrong situation defensively. But Bootanks, like, right away can get destroyed the way Goku and Vegeta cannot.
I don't know. It's close.
Well, don't worry. The extreme category stages are waiting you, my boy.
So is that it for the... Do we have any more donos?
I believe that was it. I think at this point we are ready to wrap things up.
All right, thank you, Goresh. And thank you, everybody, for being here. That's going to wrap up today's show. Huge thank you to Hydros for manning the boards and keeping things going for us, and also, getting some World Tournament time in there. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us on Twitch, follow us on Twitter, join the Discord, check out the Facebook page, all that good stuff. All of those links will be found in the description below. And if you guys would like to be a more direct supporter of the channel now, you can join via the membership. So make sure to check that out if you are interested. And if you missed any part of the show, fear not. All of your favorite podcasting platforms have you covered. Google, Apple, Spotify, many, many more. So subscribe. Don't skip a beat. Join us right here tomorrow for another episode of the Dragon Ball Legends podcast. And once again, tonight, later on Twitch, the 59 Gaming Crew will be taking on Phasmophobia once again. For Talon, Masningen, Goresh, Sunblade, and The Truth, I am Toon Rami. Thank you once again for watching. Stay tuned and always remember to Dokkan responsibly. We are out.